Well, this hand does not do anything for the board, but I think I have to keep it. I do have all my colors available already, so... Okay, Moto's still updating, sure. Probably running this out on turn 1 is okay. I could hide the fact that I have this, but if I continue to carve out, maybe it's available to me a little bit earlier, and I don't have to worry about fitting it in a turn anywhere. Free content? Oh, I see. Well, I'm already in a league that I'm playing. Not sure. Run this out and get blue. Mesa Unicorn matchup should still be alright for me. But my current hand just doesn't do anything. Yeah, I do have to cast this though, I think. If I get to kick it, the upside is that I get both of my blue sources into place, so it completely fixes the in Bolas's clutches. But now if I just draw a 5-drop and I haven't cast this, it's also a huge downside, so I think I'm willing to just run it out. Okay, so if it dies, they get their unicorn back to hand, and it's a 3/3 for now. Still don't feel too worried about that for the time being. Do want to draw a creature here. I mean, that was something that was likely to happen to my hand, and I still feel like my deck is reasonably well set up. I think the Demonic Viagra is pretty mediocre. Not a fan of the card. Well, if you're very aggressive and the +1/+1 gets an extra attack through, then it can be alright, but I'm not very impressed by it. Also not very impressed by my hand. Likely have to shoot down their unicorn. No, and just let them replay it. The problem is there's many cards in my deck that can even outclass a 3/3 lifelink. So it's not even necessarily like I don't even have to kill it, and I would rather have this available for a bigger creature. But taking 3 damage every turn here with no answer inside, yeah, this one I would have rather killed. That sucks. Yeah, maybe I should have just taken another 3. And my spot here pretty much sucks. Death Touch is a lot more annoying to me. Yeah, it's possible I should have just held the Kendo, but going to 8 here would have also not been that comfortable. Yeah, that is true. I'm kind of sick of auras that are playable, because they kind of overdid that in the previous. Not even necessarily correct to kill that one either, but god damn it. They overdid the auras are the best thing that you can be doing in the previous set, when like One with the Wind was the best blue common and everyone was just drafting like unplayable creature +1 with the wind, the deck. So I would appreciate if there was a format where there's no playable auras and you don't have to constantly worry about like game-winning auras, because from both sides of the board they are frustrating. Like, you are often in spots where you have to cast your aura, and it's terrible if your opponent has a removal, then you just lose most of the time. And it's great for you if they don't have removal, then you just win the game for free. I guess this one is like low impact enough that it doesn't offer free wins, but also gives you... so this doesn't really fit that bill, but like On Sarah's Wings or whatever it's called. Pretty unhappy with those types of auras existing once again. Even Arcane Flight is kind of similar to One with the Wind. It's probably slightly weaker, though the mana efficiency is nice. Oh god, this is awful. The Saproling spell would actually be pretty decent here for me, because I could get some good blockers for this lifelinker. Top decking like a huge creature wouldn't be that great, because it just trades for their lifelink Death Touch. I guess Muldrotha would still be the best thing ever, and in Bolas's clutches would also be insane to steal their guy. Muldrotha would allow me to cast the Candle. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not certain if this is the point where they learned their lesson and they're at a healthy point now. Not sure. The auras now are definitely a lot less oppressive than they were in Rivals, I feel. But the point is, even if they're fine now, I'm still kind of sick of them, so I would prefer for them to go under what is reasonable instead of just returning to a reasonable point, because I would have liked an overcorrection, if that makes any sense. I'm pretty dead here. In Bolas's clutches, stealing this and then jump blocking here could still be alright, but Muldrotha stabilizes me as well, because I can play her and then play the Skittering Crucifixion. God damn it. Actually, how does it work with, let me read, with artifact creatures? Am I blocked from casting artifacts and creatures then, or can I choose a type? Muldrotha. During each, you may play up to one permanent of each permanent type. If a card has multiple permanent types, choose one as you play it. Oh, I see. So it can actually cast I can cast my Candle and my Surveyor in the same turn. Cast this as a creature and this as an artifact. You may up to one permanent of each permanent type. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay. I wasn't sure if this would block both types, but it's worded in a favorable way, I would say. It's favorable to the person controlling Muldrotha. So, black-white stuff. Black-white with multiple of the recursive enchantment. Is there any way for me to blow that out? Not really, right? I mean, in Bolas's clutches is insane against it, but it's always going to be insane for me. Because I steal their creature. I guess it comes back to their hand as well. What is it called? Yeah, I guess that doesn't even... Like, it's still a 2-for-1 because I'm stealing their creature, but it's not that much better than stealing any other creature. Goose doesn't interact with that at all. I can Broken Bond their enchantments, but it doesn't even seem that much better than just killing their creature. Or like, just letting them get their creature back to hand, I mean. Could be interested in this Thallid, just to have a little bit more threat density here. Yeah, I think I'll go Thallid over Arcane Flight. Just have another card that is standalone, reasonable. I guess Blink of an Eye is a great way to punish it, but the double blue in my deck is super sketchy. And for single blue it's not that great. Yeah. Yeah, I would want this in my deck against their 2 of the enchantment, but I think off of 2 islands I can't really afford to do that. Okay, this looks like a very reasonable hand. Yeah, 1 second. I think I'll finish this game and then... Or like, I said I'll finish the match and then trade it to you. If that's alright with you. So, this is one of these interesting spots where you have 2 kicker cards in your hand and you're not certain if you want to cast either of them. I think considering the fact that I have not that many 3-drops in my deck, I'm just willing to hold on to both of them. Because this one's pretty embarrassing against the Unicorn. Green. Okay. They switched to green or were an Absent deck before and didn't draw their green. But both their white and their black looked like they were main colors. So I'm kind of surprised what that can possibly mean. These two go very well together, but the skin which has better upside in the late game on average, I think. But it's also better on the board to have the skin wedge and be able to block this. I think I'll run this out without kicker now. The point was, if I play this on turn 2, there's minimal chance that I get 2 damage in, which I lost out on now, but I get the flexibility of still deciding whether I want to kick or not. That's good that you're pumped. That's how new sets are supposed to be, right? You end up like pumped about playing, excited for more magic. Yeah, I start flying over now, which is not that great. I can theoretically eviscerate this Pegasus Courser, letting them deal 3 damage return to me and then attacking back for 3 damage return does not seem too awful. I will likely have to Dark Bargain pretty soon to keep hitting my land drop, so maybe I am taking too much damage there. Yeah, they definitely did a good job with this set in many regards. It has like nostalgia going for it. It seems to be doing good things for standard. It has an exciting limited format. Just looks like an overall great set, great hit. I really liked Hour of Devastation, but not everyone liked Hour of Devastation. But Rivals of Ixalan block was just awful, and I'm happy that it's gone. No, Icy Manipulator is pretty good against my green Fetty deck, though no attacks. That is pretty... What the hell? Doesn't even make any sense. Because none of their blocks make any sense either. Guess it holds off my Pro links, but this one can still attack in very easily. So they could have hit me for 3 and taken 5, and instead they're just taking 3. So they missed out on 3 damage to prevent 2. I mean, I'm happy about that, but not sure if it's correct for my opponent. I think I want to kick this and just use this to find a land. Though there's a little bit of a chance that I miss on a land, then it's... So Yosu Vest plus Swamp seems great for me, because I can use my Ram spell to get to Yosu Vest mana. Losing a Vicious Offering is also not that great, but I think I do need my land drop. Theoretically you could be greedy and just go like Yosu Vest plus Vicious Offering. It's not unreasonable with the Pro links on the board already. I think just making my land drops until I get to 10 mana should also be game winning. And I have 2 removal spells still available to me. Kinda close though. God damn it, opponent. Why you gotta be like that? Okay, now they're attacking, which makes sense. The Mesa Unicorn holds off my attacks, and they can tap down the Thallid Omnivore. Yeah, Shadows was also good. I agree, I like Shadows. This is a little awkward, because I want to search Double Island for mana fixing purposes. But if I get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then I'm super close to just kicking this. Costs 10. Then any land I draw allows me to kick this if I put Elfham Druid on the board. How much does it do? 8 2/2s. Yeah, I think I'll go for that. It only denies me 1 blue card in my deck. But I still have 2 more ways to search up an island. I can cast the other 2 blue cards that I have in my deck. It seems alright. Basically I get punished only if I drop in bonus touches, but I get rewarded if I draw any of my remaining 10 lands. So that seems worth doing. theoretically they can Icy Manipulator down my Druid, but seems like they want to stop this from attacking, because these Prolings being sacrificed is also pretty great for me. Is a Unicorn attacking? I might just do a double block here to buy myself more time. No reason to die here with an unbeatable card in my hand, right? So they did actually end up being Abzan. No idea why you would really be splashing this though, because most of the Proling generators are green as well, right? So this as a splash only makes sense if you're splashing additional Proling cards. Weird. That was not the land that I was looking for. 6, 7, 8, 9, and I need 10 for this. Can get rid of both of their last 2 cards. That seems alright with me though. Then I'm taking... I'm 1 mana short of these 2 as well, because they also cost 10 together. They fly over for another 4. Yeah, that seems alright. And then I probably have to kill this next turn. Oh yeah, it's each opponent. Really looking forward to opening this in my 2-headed giant. 06 wall. I guess that does trigger the self-replicator. Yeah, this card seems busted for 2-headed giant. Should have attacked first, but there's still no way my opponent blocks, and also no way I need my 3/3 on defense, I think. Even with another Demonic Urge, the Self-Replicator or the Spore Crown Thallid can't really attack into my first Striking Knight. So now I just have to shoot this Pegasus down twice so that my opponent can't fly over anymore, and then the game should be pretty over. Good out 5 for 1. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's more like a 4 for 1, because a 1/3 is not actually a playable card. But making both of your opponents discard 2 cards is pretty sick, regardless. It's also not bad. Well, it's going to get my candle back eventually. So... though I can't do both of those this turn. If I shoot this down with the candle, then I don't have the mana to recast this, basically. Probably alright to do this before my opponent can draw like a combat trick or something for it. I'm not sure that could really happen, but who cares? Just to be safe. And then I will likely have to eviscerate it when it's on the board again. Don't even think I can attack that. It just allows my opponents profitable attacks. They can even Icy Manipulator down one of my blockers on defense, so might even have to jump block here, or I'm taking 2 damage. Icy Manipulator is just a sick card. Well, I guess the upside is that I have an unbeatable card and a way to get the unbeatable card back from the graveyard, but that's pretty sick top deck for my opponent. Would have avoided 3 damage. No, returning to play would be way too insane. Then it would cost like 4 or 5 or something. No, it's pretty good, but it's not that insane. Just gives you some card advantage once your creature dies, and yeah. Well, rip Joseph S. Hopefully still get to cast this later on with either the Rona or the Moldotha. Exactly, read the fucking card. Well, there's the mana that I would have needed for the overload here. Okay, I guess I killed this still. And then run out my Rona. And then my opponent needs to start tapping down this Elfhelm Druid. Otherwise I just overload the Yosuvest. Seems slightly better than getting the Candle back. I could like Candle and then cast it. Nah. And do this before my opponent can tap down my blue mana. I'm not actually certain if it's better to run out my land or not. Actually, I do need to run out my land because I need... No, wait. If I run out my land, my opponent knows that I can hit 10 and then they're more likely to tap my Druid. If I... Like, the upside of running it out is that I can build up to 10 mana naturally. 6, 7, 8... So that even if they do tap this down, I will arrive at 10 mana eventually. I think I do need to run it out, even though that gives my opponent full information that they need to deal with this Elfhelm Druid. Also, my Knight of Metas no longer has the bonus. Not that that's really relevant, it's already holding off both of the 2 toughness creatures of my opponent. So yeah, Icy Manipulator is now on hold of Yosuvest duty. Well, my opponent seems to disagree. That does not seem like a great play. That does not seem like a great play at all. They're empty-handed. I don't think there's any downside in going to 4 life here. Nothing that really punishes me for that. Yeah, I don't really know why they did that. Cast with Kicker. Yep, that seems like a fair card. I think we can all agree that that was fair and balanced. Just your usual 20 power for 10 mana over 9 bodies. Pretty fair card. Okay, so they do have Icy Manipulator and the Helm. And wait, the Helm was the previous round. I still think I want Broken Bond now that I've seen Icy Manipulator. Stronghold Confessors in aggro matchups. They're just 4 mana 3/3s, right? Not sure about that. Good blocker and a good attacker. It's not that great of a blocker. I might want Pierce this guy though. Okay, they only showed me like the 1 fire, but the upside is that I give something big flying, then I can like shoot down both of their creatures with this. Not at the same time, but like I can choose whether I want to shoot down the Pegasus or whatever they're giving flying too. I'll keep this in mind, but I don't think 4 mana 3/3 is really what I'm looking for at the moment. Okay, yeah. Guess I cut this again, though the games were pretty grindy. The migration is kind of low impact, though my opponent did show me multiple, like 2 mana 2/2s. Maybe one Pierce the Sky, but it also could just be stranded in my hand for a while. Could even see running this Academy Drake. Actually, I like that. Because it's both a way to trade with their 2/2s and a legitimate card in the late game. Maybe I should just have that in my main deck, actually. I'm not sure if 4 mana 3/3 is actually like legitimately good. It could be better. I could be okay to slim down my curve a little bit, But unless the 1-mana 1/1 is trading for like opposing 2/1s, I don't think it's an amazing card for the aggro matchup. This hand's actually kind of close because these 3 cards immediately catch me up as soon as I hit any land. I think I'll mull it, but it does look kind of close on the draw. What is it? Odds 33, 16, 2-1, 74% to have a second land on turn 2. And then what do I need by like turn 5? I want 4 lands. Yeah, I think it's likely correct, just because my 2-drops are all insane enough that I can hold until I hit this. So like we want like odds 33, 16 lands, and by like turn 5 or something we would want to have hit 3 of them. Yeah, I think it's alright, but it's pretty close. Okay, got there. And this even makes it better. If I only hit 1 more land, then I can find my 4th land. Okay, yeah. The reason why I think it's close is that I really like my deck. So if I think my deck mulligans well and can win off of a mulligan to 6 pretty easily, then like these cards are among my best cards, I agree, but my deck is full of other good cards so that I can mulligan into hands with a similar expected win rate as keeping this. If these are like by far your best cards and the rest of your deck is kind of mediocre, then keeping this type of hand and only needing to draw lands but having all the card quality that your deck has to offer already in your hand is a lot better of a gamble. So basically the better the rest of your deck is, the less often you need to take these gambles. Still think it's like barely correct with my deck. But the fact that the rest of my deck is pretty insane makes me want to keep these less often. When it's up-rolling you can draw dice. So that's also part of their splash. They're splashing green for this and the 2-mana 2/2 that makes Saprolings and Funguses stronger. I still think the other card that they splashed is pretty questionable. The Slime Foot makes some sense. Can make a Saproling. I mean, I can kill it right away, or I can grow. Dice each opponent. Yeah, I think I'm just offering it on curve. If I just pass, they're allowed to make a Saproling if I'm offering it during their turn, but they might put that enchantment on it. No, just offering it on my turn. That decision seems kind of close though. I think they don't have any combat tricks to ever stop this from happening. Wait, oh my god, okay, what the hell? I thought this was a 2/2, what the hell? Okay, just pre-release plays. Okay, that was a huge punt of the day, won by not reading the card correctly. Yeah, it's a 2/3, then obviously this play is terrible and I should just get myself a swamp. That was a great play. I should have just attacked into it and see if my opponent blocks, which is unlikely. Well, that might bail me out of trouble a little bit. But then, now I just mulliganed. Yeah, it is a very sweet card. Hurl and Minotaur too strong for me. This also goes really well with my fight spell. But it's just insane in general. Well, if I had just not made that play, I would be crushing, and I still think I'm likely crushing, but obviously just mulliganing and skipping my turn 3 was not a great move. Well, lesson learned. 3 toughness is good against -2/-2. This is not good against -2/-2 though. 6 toughness if I fight here. Then I can attack with both. And if they double block there, that is block for them. Yeah, I think I will just make this fight now. This time it should kill it. My opponent is dying pretty quickly here. Whenever might want to kill this right away though, so they can't start copying it. Kicking this actually seems pretty enticing as well. This one only has 2 toughness, right? Let me check every time now. Yeah, if they go like Icy Manipulator, copy this, it can get out of control. I don't know. Game would be so much easier with an extra Vicious Offering in my hand. The downside if they play like 3/3 lifelink Death Touch now, it's not that great for me that I can't shoot that down. Oh, their own Grunt, that is super greedy. Just splashing double green cards off of their no mana fixing splash. Still pretty good for them to have that here. I think I just could run this out and start attacking with it for 10. Or just kick this and then I can kick this as well. Yeah, I guess making this trade is just alright with me. And then run this out. Because this attacking me back for 10 is also not that great for me. Yeah, pretty punished by not having the -5/-5 anymore. Not that -5/-5 would have been cheap. I would have to sacrifice my knight for that. Okay, this Grunt threatens lethal though. I mean, it doesn't actually threaten lethal, but they have to start jump blocking with the Prolinks. Seems alright. Could theoretically set up to kick it next turn by getting 2 lands into play and then any land that I draw kicks it, but a 10 power attack against my opponent on 9 seems like a reasonable thing to get onto the board. No. No. Oh, that's awful. That's one. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, that even holds off my Grunt for quite a while. And then they just play their own. I guess next turn if they play their own, the board position is not that great for them because they go back up to 10 life, but I'm still threatening to attack for 10. And if they're locked into a position where they have to make the Prolink tokens as blockers every turn, it is decent for them that they have that ability, but it's also very expensive. Okay, Grunt here I'm not that afraid of. Do I still have Arcane Flights in my deck? I think I boarded them out, right? Yeah, I have both of them in my sideboard. Okay, they did play their Grunt. Now one of these two has to jump block. What? Then the Grunt just has to jump block. It's probably better to jump block with the Slimefoot. Yeah, because this is threatening lethal every turn. What? Okay. Well, yeah, this holds off the Grunt better in the long run. So in that sense it makes sense for my opponent to jump block this, but then they could have made the attack. And also, it's funny that this was their best jump blocker. Was probably just better to use this ability rather than run this out as a jump blocker. That just makes no sense, right? They don't get the life off of it, and they lose a full card. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, each opponent discards a card. Okay. Well, rip Knight of Menace. That also does not seem great for my opponent, because now this has to trump block. Oh no, they have another creature, sure. Okay, no, they don't have another creature. They still have to trump block with this, they just get it back to hand. Discards a card. And then they get a creature back from their graveyard. Sure. Wow, that's that has to be good, right? Yeah, that's a Josuves at the very least. Just have to figure out whether I want Josuves for as a 4/5 right away, or kick it next turn. Because I do have the 10 mana available to me. But then I allow my opponent to -2/-2, like Vicious Offering the Rona and stop that from happening. I just put the 4/5 onto the board. Not certain that's going to be good enough. I definitely want to play both of these so that the discards a card mode doesn't do anything. So they replay Slimefoot and activate it, I guess. Yeah, I think I want to run this out and not cast my Josuves. There's some risk attached to that, but it's just much higher chance that it wins me the game. And my Grun is just going to run into there's the Proling Factory every turn. Also, I still need to beat the fact that they're getting a creature from the graveyard back for free next turn. If they have to -2/-2 this, I also get to eat up their Slimefoot again without them being able to activate it. Cast with Kicker. Thoughts on 20 power? This card's so busted. Holy shit. Unreal. Usually these types of zombie effects also come into play tapped. Like slow zombies or whatever you want to call them. Usually they're like tapped and don't have menace, and these have menace and come into play untapped. I guess they have night training, so they're a little bit faster. From a flavor perspective that makes some sense, but what the hell? You just get to have all of these zombies on defense the turn that they come down, and then they're pretty much unblockable the turn that they attack. I think my opponent's just incredibly dead here. I guess there's like the destroy all non-legendary creatures board wipe that is like a legendary sorcery. They could have that and it gets rid of all the zombie knights. But I still get to keep all 3 of my legends here, so it doesn't really solve the situation. Man, this deck's sweet. Yeah, that was exactly what I needed here. In case any of my attacks go wrong, I just get to recast these from the graveyard as well. Don't really know how my opponent survives this. Is there like a fog effect or something? I don't even think so, right? Prevent damage out of Dominaria. I think they just die here pretty much always, but let me check. No, there's no damage. I mean, there's prevent 3 damage and all that, but like no fog effect. And then also like destroy all or something. No, and all the board wipes are also sorcery speed. Like there's no set of the wreckage type card that just blows me out here for attacking with everything, I think. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Yeah, even if they do deal with this board, I get to start casting stuff from my graveyard. That's what I thought. Okay, let me do the trade for a second. Need to give my friend some tickets.